Just prior to the full brunt of the holidays, my wife and I took a quick trip to Belize. I wanted to warm up for a few days. I am perpetually cold, and see what is known as the broadleaf jungle. We headed inland into the mountains towards our small hotel, and as the altitude got higher, we entered something called the Mountain Pine Ridge Forest. The hills and the red color of the dirt and pine trees, as far as I could see, reminded me a lot of Clark County, Alabama. Fortunately, the lodge sat low along a creek, and just like in Clark County, the hardwoods were plentiful along the creekside, towering in massive trees of species I'd never seen. It was beautiful. One day we drove a ways and spent a long while at the Mayan ruins of Caracol. You've seen them in pictures. Massive stone pyramids made about 1,400 years ago in the heyday of the Mayan civilization, reclaimed by jungle when the Mayans abandoned their civilizations, and rediscovered about 90 years ago by a logger looking for mahogany trees. It occurred to me as my wife and I stood atop the tallest pyramid looking out for hundreds of miles over the jungle canopy, that men sure like to make other men carry rocks up hills. Rocks, by their very nature, typically want to be at the bottom of hills, or they make up the very hills themselves. Why is it that men, to boast of their power and influence, force others to put rocks on top of each other until they've created something massive? Why rocks? Why up? Why fight against nature and gravity? Hey, someone said, see that big rock there? Go put it up there, he said, pointing to a higher point. No, that other person said, it's down there for a reason. Rocks go downhill. That's the way it works. That's what makes them heavy. They like being down at the bottom of hills. Maybe we can put some dried leaves up there. That would look nice. No, the first guy said in reply. It'll be rocks, and they'll be up there. You were captured in the last war between our tribes, so please get started. So, we got pyramids. Every continent in the world except Antarctica and Australia have stone pyramids built by men to boast to their citizens and their enemies about their power and influence. Seems to be a thing. And they didn't share blueprints. Each did it on their own. Rocks stacked high. And the Mayans would build over the previous king's temple and make theirs higher. Temples stacked on temples, rocks stacked on rocks, all carried up, higher and higher, men trying to boast. It is, however, not lost on me that on my back patio is a brick fireplace with a block of granite high up in the center of the chimney that the brick mason put there at my request. The rock was hauled all the way to Mobile from North Carolina, and I really like to show it off. I'm 1,400 years distant from the Mayans, but maybe I'm not all that different. Maybe I kind of get it. I'm Cam Marston, just trying to keep it real.